afraid to shout. Make America great, tell them what it's about. Facts over feelings, cutting through the noise. Fighting woke mobs and the kids with toys. They spew their lies, they spreading hate. Lips BS ain't gonna seal our fate. No nonsense here, just straight to the point. Truth to ammo in this battleground joint. Make America great again, stand and fight. Facts over feelings, day and night.
Hey, it's To The Point with Mike, Leo, and Vince.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to excuse me. Welcome
You
back
all right?
to episode 152 with your boy Leo from To The Point Podcast. Go ahead, give us a like, give us a follow, let us know where you're listening from. Before we get going, make sure if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that button down below real quick for us. Tonight we're just here to chit chat for a little bit, hang out. It's Wednesday night, March 25th, 2026. We are on the east coast of the Sunshine State. We live where you guys vacation. So, small little town, but we are for sure on the map. A lot
too many
going on
times
here,
for the
a lot
wrong
of stuff
reasons.
going on. And I love it, though. To be honest with you, Mike, I love it, man. I love every single bit of it.
Wow.
Everybody,
The small town, you mean?
yeah, the small town, man. You get,
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. If we didn't have everything that is going on around town, what would we be able to talk about? What would we be able to, I love that everybody has so much energy towards whatever their goals are, whatever they're thinking, whatever they're doing, whatever. I love it. You guys just keep going. And
I definitely prefer small town vibes. I'm not a city person, and even Vero Beach, I know
no.
is
Like-
for me. It's still getting too big. Like,
Right. Like my thing, like what I was saying is like everybody, like, like the left side, the right side, everybody's like pushing their own thing, like their own, like, this is what I believe. This is what I want. This is, like, it's good. Like, fuck it, man. Like, who gives a shit? Do what you think is good for you. And hey, we live in America where we can do that stuff. So let's just be grateful that we're here and raise your voice, man. Say what you got to say and keep on moving, keep on chugging, man. Life's too short. Let's go.
For sure. So we're back with 152 and we're all in the house tonight, thank God. And everybody's got a busy life, so we
Yeah,
go
for
about our
sure.
business. But a lot going on in the news, local, and of course it just never seems to fail us. Something local happens that puts us in
right.
national headlines or stuff like that. So many reasons to talk about local Vero Beach, a double homicide, and then of course
Oh yeah, for sure.
the rising gas prices, which is splitting. A lot of this is splitting MAGA, the Iran war, and
That's
stuff
why
like that. So,
that's why I ran to the podcast today.
and we got ICE in the airports because
yeah.
the
That too.
Democrats are once again tonight held up funding TSA and the DHS.
Yeah.
So
You
there's
also-
plenty to talk about there. So
Did you also see the plane that hit the fire truck?
yes,
that was
Well,
crazy.
We can
was
find
crazy.
that also.
Man,
And,
that was good. I saw that too. Just
Well,
a
that
little
was
bit
not
of it.
good, but
Well, not good.
Yeah.
But I just saw like
Freaking-
Thank God, it was only 2 people that died. The pilot and the co-pilot, I
Well,
believe.
still-
Thank God it wasn't worse, but
still,
That
it's an accident that could have been prevented.
yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Joanne,
Should have never happened.
how you doing?
Hey, Joanne.
Yeah, so we can probably try to find some information on that. It was just kind of like a wing it Wednesday kind of show, so we don't have much to talk about, but we will talk about the ongoing, I don't know what you would call it, the manhunt or the
Right.
the hunt for a person of interest here
Yeah,
at local.
I would call it a man.
Stuff like that. But want to remind everybody, coming up in September, the Warriors Shield weekend is coming up, where they do a concert with some great Patriot entertainers, and Saturday night they do a gala with the guys from Benghazi and some other keynote speakers. It all goes to a great cause. Every year they pick a different charity and they throw their weight in their fundraising behind another charity that's 100% veteran benefited. Like, it doesn't, veterans or first responders is who they make sure their money goes after.
Right.
And this year it's the Border Patrol Foundation. So last year it was Corporal Chad O Foundation, and it was pretty cool. It was I didn't go for the gala, and it's like a dinner, and you list, there's some speakers. So we might do it this year. I don't know. I would like to be there and support it, but it's again not really my kind of thing. But we'll see what happens this year. So, let's play a quick clip from Warrior Shield Foundation, and we'll be right back.
There's a kind of strength you can't buy or borrow. It's born in the fire, tempered by sacrifice, and carried by those who never stopped serving. Some heroes wear uniforms. Others wear scars. They're veterans, first responders, and Gold Star families. Men and women who gave everything and still keep giving. At the Warrior Shield Foundation, we stand beside them, shoulder to shoulder, providing the support, the care, and the community they deserve. We're a proud non-profit, a 501c3, built to protect those who protect us. We don't just serve our own. We help other non-profits reach their missions too, because together, we make the Shield stronger. Donate and help our cause, help their cause, because every act of kindness builds hope where the battle still rages inside. Join the mission. Donate today. Visit warriorshield.org, because heroes deserve a foundation as strong as their sacrifice.
Yep,
And we're back.
yep, we're back, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to this September because then we get to meet up in Orlando at the Rosin Center and meet up with Dale and Jim and some of the people we met last year. So it's an interesting weekend, and if you don't do the other stuff, it's still a great resort to stay in, and it's in the center of everything. Orlando,
Right.
why not? I don't know what my dog is barking at, but. So yeah, here local, let's just break into that real quick. Yesterday morning, we local to us, Indian River County, we got, local news notifications about,
2 people shot.
yeah,
and
2 people
killed.
shot at the county library, and it was early in the morning.
7 a.m. roughly.
Yeah, so it was pretty weird. And then as the day went on, you started to hear more rumors, and then today, that dog's not going to shut up, is it? Today, the police department handling the investigation had a press conference, and you got a lot more details. Let me share this. This is.
I know they released the suspect. Did they release the victims yet? Names?
Yeah, I can.
did.
Well, let me pull that up right now.
Yeah, I was kind of out of town today, so I didn't really get to see too much of it.
I'll give you a quick recap because I have it broken down into notes here. As far as the best information me and ChatGPT can come up with is that after the press conference, there's more details, and it's pretty disturbing. Police say it wasn't random. This was a targeted personal situation that escalated into violence. Like we said, at 7 a.m., victim Danny Uli showed up at the Indian River County main library parking lot in his truck, and shortly after, the next victim, Stacy Mason, arrived separately, and she gets into Uli's vehicle, and then moments later, Jesse Scott Ellis allegedly arrives on scene. I mean, they didn't say allegedly; they're saying this was him, but according to police and surveillance, they've got a decent, I don't know, probable cause, I guess. So the video shows him approach the truck, fire multiple rounds into the vehicle. Uli shot first in the driver's seat, and then Ellis moves or the shooter then moves around the vehicle and continues firing at Mason. Both victims were killed and pronounced dead at the scene. So the Stacy, this Ellis supposedly is Stacy's estranged husband. They were married for like 13 years. They're going through a divorce. They're selling the house, I guess, or trying to sell the house. So the police are considering it crime of passion. There's no threat to the community, even though they don't have the shooter in custody. So
Yeah, I know when we first heard about it, we kind of were just like, oh, probably a drug deal went wrong, kind of jokingly. And then when I remember when I had heard that it was a male and a female that were shot dead, the first thing that popped in my head was somebody got caught cheating.
it's sad too. You think,
Yeah.
but you know what? When I drive down the road and I see two people sitting outside their car in two different vehicles, it's sad that you think that.
Right.
I automatically think that, like,
And
what's going on?
here's the thing, like, when I at work, sometimes when I'm sitting in the parking lot, there's times where I've seen, like two vehicles show up and like either the girl or the guy, somebody gets out of one vehicle, gets in the other one, and then the vehicle leaves. Or so it's like, you see some of this stuff. I work in a place where there's a lot of vehicles coming in and out of a parking lot. So it's a common place where somebody would maybe meet to do stuff like that, and it's just crazy to think, like, what if something like that just happened right in the parking lot where you work? Like, that's just. I mean,
Well, we've
actually had a shooting in our parking lot where
definitely.
we work. So,
And then another one not far.
It was-
on the other side of the parking lot. pretty
right,
much.
the one in our parking lot was actually cops shooting a suspect.
Yeah.
So
And that suspect is still incarcerated.
What's that, Leo?
I was placing an order real quick.
He's not present. But yeah, so
Yeah, man, just sad situation, man. It's one of those things, fuck around and find out situations,
it's really bad.
It's sorry to hear about these people, but I mean, 64 years old, he's an adult.
We'll get into that. Yeah.
Adults.
So he used an AR style rifle. That's cool. You're all right. They got the weapon at the scene. A surveillance video captured the whole thing, and they haven't released it yet. That's what I'm learning from, I don't know, WPEC. So then, I guess he drives a Ford F-50. I thought it was a Ranger. I don't know, but they found it at South Beach Park. If you're familiar with the area, it's a popular beach on the south end of the county, I think, right?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with
me
Myrtle
neither.
Beach.
So around 7:30, 8:30, witnesses reported a man walking into the ocean fully clothed. Fire and rescue responds to what they believe was a distress swimmer call, which the chief said they had asked the fire department to go because they can launch a, it was so the chief acted like this was a person, a suspect, but let's ask the fire department to launch their boat because they can go straight from the beach. Meanwhile, we got to go through the inlet, but it's just me speculating and being critical, but so the witnesses reported him walking into the ocean fully clothed. They went and checked on him. They located the man hundreds of yards offshore. They're saying like almost 900 yards offshore. That's nine.
Mike, let me stop you right
That's 9 football fields. I can't
yeah.
run one football
there.
field.
Mike, but let me stop you right there. Listen to what you just said, though. Read it back about who they saw him and they described him, right? But how fast and quick they knew that this was the guy.
Well, I mean, it's just odd that he was fully clothed. So they reported a guy walking in fully clothed, and they just probably figured out that it was him. Yeah, I
The
don't
public
know.
didn't know. The public didn't know anything about this at the moment. They didn't know anything. Nobody knew anything. It was fresh. So how did the public see? How did this lady see and say, "Oh, this is the guy that just did the shooting down there 30 minutes ago, and I already know who he is. I know what he looks like. I know what he's wearing, and he's jumping into the ocean." Come on, man. I'm not a detective that sits behind a little cube and just eats snacks and stuff like that. Like, come on, man. It makes sense. Like, how is somebody going to dial 911 and say, "Oh"?
Did they call, though? Is that what happened, or did they go there and question people when they found the truck?
No, somebody called
they
the
called
chief,
it in.
the Vero
Okay.
Beach chief of police. I believe said.
Yeah, well then that doesn't
somebody
make
called-
sense.
That somebody called
Yeah.
and said, "Oh, the guy is jumping into the ocean,"
Yeah.
or somebody jumped into the ocean fully clothed, and they described the same clothing, I believe, that the guy was wearing. But it's like, my thing is like, she's calling an hour after it happened, so it said they happened at what, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Right, roughly.
So by 8 o'clock, this lady, this caller, whoever called, is already saying, "Hey,
yeah.
that person is jumping into the ocean. I saw that person jump into the ocean." Like, how quick?
Right.
You know, like an hour seems like a lot.
Yeah,
but
I
it
was
really isn't.
I was just thinking that the police found the vehicle was just, hey, I saw something weird. A guy fully clothed just walked
Could
into
have
the
been
ocean.
that too. Could have
But
been
it-
that too.
Yeah, because otherwise, how would they have any clue?
Right. I don't know. It's just everything is like very.
So what happened after that, Mike? Because like I said, I missed all the stuff that came out today because I was out of town.
You right there because
So he supposedly was 900 yards out into the ocean.
Okay, so yeah, let me pick up where I left. I had to get the dog put up because it's just going crazy. So supposedly this guy out there, they come across, gave him a fake name. He refused help, and he wasn't detained at all because it's a fire department.
Right.
Why not put a cop on the boat though? Besides that, so this person of interest, Jesse Scott Ellis, is still at large. Massive search included drones, boats, canines. Police say it's an isolated incident. There's no ongoing threat to the public, but he is considered dangerous.
So they didn't pull him on the boat, then they just left him out in the water, and then he disappeared after that?
Yeah, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Like,
a guy wearing...
especially, okay, so
A guy not in a bathing suit, that's fully clothed, you find out in the water and he says, "I don't need any help." I just find it weird that you still wouldn't pull the guy on the onto the boat and bring him to a shore at least.
Right. That too didn't make any sense to me either because it's like you're the rescue. You see that there's nobody out here, and you're just gonna let somebody. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and go back.
Yeah, I want
it
to
out.
make it be known I am not a detective at all. But
no, I'm not a detective
yeah.
either, but I could be.
Yeah.
I do want to shout out to DT and George Cologne in the comment section. DT must have been moving because we've been missing you, and our schedule hasn't been pretty consistent either. So thanks for catching up with us. And George, thanks for jumping in. George says, truly sad, especially when so-called officials get away with it, and his so-called head of department. He set the pattern. Actually, Vero has clowns leading both Leo departments. It's funny because I like the chief. I think he seems like a nice guy. He probably is. But I was thinking for a minute there, maybe this is so severe that maybe the sheriff's department should be handed off. But then I thought, well, the sheriff probably isn't very eager to speak on a case leading with
The more I think about it, that really bothers
adultery
me.
and violence.
A guy 900 yards, that's a long ways out into the water.
And not just that.
I've never come close to that out in
Well,
the ocean.
let's look
So
at
if I'm on that boat, unless this person tells me, unless they're in a bathing suit and this person's like, I'm an Olympic swimmer, your ass is coming ashore.
Vince, and not just that, but this guy is 6'4".
And he's old. Like, I mean,
He's 64 years
60
old.
something years old. I mean, he's not a young kid out swimming.
I mean, look at his picture. He's not in fit.
still not caught. As far as I know, no, he's
he's
not.
not in fit. Like
Yeah, he doesn't look like a swimmer. Let's just say that.
Joanna, that's what I'm wondering. Like, was it just
What'd you say?
suicide? Was he swimming out to his death or to a boat?
Right.
I thought I heard the chief say, I don't know.
And so they
I couldn't hear the chief.
So they
First
haven't
of all-
found him. Maybe he is dead.
Maybe.
Maybe he's dead. Maybe the body's going to wash up at some point, like who knows?
I mean, if I needed to, I don't know if I want to drown myself though.
Yeah.
They said he had other weapons at home. He was a hunter, so it's like he's got to have a pistol.
but didn't they say that he also worked for the county or did something?
No, well, I don't know about that. He was an electrician. His wife was his estranged wife was a traffic analyst for the county,
Oh, okay.
and the other victim was the assistant director of public works for the county.
Okay.
So they worked together, and supposedly, allegedly, this guy did his research and used I don't know, it's very vague, maybe a PI to find out his wife's patterns. And that's how he knew they were doing this on a regular.
I had wondered, and this is still a possibility,
Allegedly.
but the only thing that kind of threw it off to me was the fact that he went out into the water like 900 yards out. But the fact that he showed up with an AR rifle, he hired a PI. So it's like, so how much of this was planned? So you're going to go do the shooting, go park your truck at the park, at the beach. And I was wondering if he had another vehicle lined up, an escape route. And is already long gone to freaking Cuba or something, which who knows? That still could be maybe the walking out into the water was all part of his plan. Now it looks like maybe he committed suicide, and then they wonder if he's even alive. So,
yeah, at first I wondered if it was even him.
right.
But they say that sounds like they're pretty sure that this guy gave a fake name. I don't know if it's IRC's fault, like the fire department, because that's who responded to the swimmer. So, and who knows if he was still fully clothed? Maybe he was, once he got in, maybe he kicked off his clothes. Who knows? I have no idea.
Right. Yeah, if he's fully clothed, 900 yards out, mid 60s, not in great shape, then yeah, I'd say the guys on the boat are in question as far as whether or not they did the right thing.
Well, but what are you expecting a fire department to do? Like,
Pull them on the boat and bring them ashore at least. I mean,
you
if
don't
I was
know if
listen,
how dangerous is he?
not in good shape. I'm 20 years younger than that guy, and if I was 900 yards out and I said I don't need no help, something ain't right with me. Bring me to shore, please.
But then again, I mean, if the guy refuses help,
Yeah, but
what can you do if the guy?
yeah, no, they
refuses
can force help. I mean, they do that kind of shit all the time, though.
He might have been doing the backstroke and was like, "No, I'm good,"
Yeah,
and might have just been going for his last swim. I don't know. It definitely was something very emotional for the guy to do this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
because I've heard of people who, some people who commented on social media that have relatives that worked with the guy, said he was a very nice guy, and
Right.
had to be a
And-
very sad situation for him to flip like that.
and I just want to say, obviously, we're speculating. We don't know what
Right.
happened. We don't know what those firemen dealt with,
Right.
what he was said, what they saw. We're just speculating if it was the way it sounds. It just seems very odd situation. So I don't want to try to say that anybody deserves any kind of consequences that was involved in that, because we don't know. We're just kind of reacting
We're
to
just having-
speculations.
We're just having a conversation.
Yeah, I agree with you,
Among us.
Joanne.
We're just having a conversation among us, and we're inviting you guys.
It's just between you and us.
And no, we're inviting you guys in it so that you guys
Yeah.
can listen to it.
But I agree, like they could have called it in. Like, why wasn't there a helicopter or
Right.
the drone, the sheriff's department involved more so in this? It's a double homicide. And I know city takes jurisdiction, but
Well,
I mean, it's
at that point,
it's not like a professional police force, though. It's a city.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're not professional.
oh, you're talking about for the manhunt part of it.
Whatever. I mean, an investigation like this, and not just that. I don't know. There's rumors. Correct me if I'm wrong. Either this guy was a former cop, or the other guy that was the victim, his brother was a cop. I don't know, but there was a lot of stuff going. A lot of mud was getting flung back and forth about somebody else connected to the sheriff's department or police department, and the comments were getting too bad. I couldn't even focus on trying to get the right information. So.
Right.
But yeah, I would have thought that
At the end of the
something
day,
would have been something
Yeah.
else. Like the sheriff's department probably should have already responded.
end of the
to this.
day, very sad situation. Obviously, you catch your wife cheating on somebody. I can understand losing your shit, but still sad. 2 people lost their life, possibly 3 people. The suspect might be dead. Who knows?
Yeah, so this is
Very sad.
attempt to locate. It says double homicide, but then down here it's like a person of interest for questioning only. It was like
But yeah, though, half a mile though, like that's hard running already, half a mile running. Now imagine that,
Yeah.
all those strokes with your arms and your feet. I mean,
yeah. Name is Jesse Jesse Ellis. He was born in 1961. So what'd you say? How old is he, Leo?
64
64. He's 6'4" too.
and 6'4".
Big guy.
And so he's wanted for questioning only.
Maybe there's something to do with 6464.
No, it's got to be 6'7", 6'7". So hopefully they find a guy, and definitely sorry for the family.
But
The other guy, I don't know his story. the victim, Daniel or Danny Uli, I think it was the name, but he did have a daughter and an ex-wife who, the actual stepfather of his daughter, didn't know him personally, but was in social media saying he was a really nice guy. He was great to his daughter and whatever. So who knows the personal stuff going on, but you've got it like smack in the face. Like,
Imagine
you better make sure your freaking workplace is clean.
Imagine being the
of that
private
bullshit.
Imagine being the PI that helped him figure this out, and then now you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
That led to 2 people being dead.
But listen,
So, DT, you're looking at what I'm looking at right here. So,
What are you saying?
he says, does it say in print, if seen, stop, notify?
okay,
Right.
so yeah, that's
Does
what I
it
was
say
gonna
it?
say. So yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
So you know how they're
If
saying,
located, stop, hold, and notify them. So hold
Okay,
this guy down,
so,
would you?
right? And that's what I'm gonna.
Fuck.
That's
Should
what
have told the fire department this.
right. So that's where I was gonna go with. Like they're
I'm not
saying,
laughing at anybody.
they're saying that he's not a threat to the public, but yet he killed somebody he loved.
Yeah,
So to me, it's like, okay, if you could kill somebody you love, anybody else is going to come towards you to stop you because of what you did.
Yeah.
You don't think you're just going to be like, you're not going to stop me? I mean,
I'm
I just
wondering-
took my own
I'm wondering
rights.
if they meant stop what you're doing and notify authorities right away. I'm wondering because, yeah, I agree, Leo.
better
Like,
fix that up.
they don't consider him a threat because this was a passionate crime. Typically, they're not dangerous to other people. But if somebody's going to try to stop him, then yes, he's obviously dangerous. But I'm wondering if what they meant was stop what you're doing, contact authorities right away.
It's sad. It's pretty freaking sad. Sad for him. Sad for the victims, obviously, and their children involved. I don't know if he had children with Stacy. There was an age gap there, but let's look. I got more. Where'd it go?
Yeah, it's just a sad situation, man. You know,
Yeah.
it's no good. You know,
Oh wait, that's all I got.
he is mentally unstable. His life is over, and he is now has nothing to lose. He is in a serious state. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
You're
if
right.
like you said, Leo, if anybody tries to stop him, then obviously he's dangerous.
yeah, he's dangerous. He's mentally. He's.
I mean, I don't think he's just
mentally
gonna.
unstable already.
Who knows though? Yeah, when you're mentally unstable, he might just walk up to some random person and shoot him. Because they've lost it.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I mean, they could still be a threat to anybody.
I could totally. I'm not saying I can relate, but I can totally understand.
It's funny when
if somebody, it's just
when
we say, okay, if you see them, you catch them, just walk away and or whatever. But it's like you can't.
when we first heard about it,
It's just like
they said that there was no threat to the community. I assumed the suspect was either in custody or dead. So the fact that neither, and he still could be on the loose.
Well, that was my question. Yeah,
Yeah, I would not say that there's no threat.
that
To the
was
public.
my question too. But that's what I said in the group text, and it was just like, okay, so he's not there. This person's not a threat to the public.
But he's
So-
at large.
Well, they didn't say that at first. So
No,
it's
they didn't.
insinuating that they had somebody in custody.
Right. Or dead. That's
Right.
what I
So
assume.
it's like, so I'm left to assume. So it's like, I think the messaging coming out of the, small town police department could have definitely been a little better. I'm critical of the police department. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not that I'm not critical of the sheriff's department either, because they're just as messed up. But, yeah, that's just as DT says, that's just as effed up as the fire department letting the guy go.
To me,
Half
To me, at the
freaking
very
miles
least, they should say the suspect is at large. If you don't want to say that he's a threat,
now that's
at
what you're
least
saying.
right. At least say in the beginning. First thing is suspect still at large. That's the correct way to warn the public.
These are the victims: Stacy Mason, and I think it's Danny Uli. Of course, these are local to us, so we want to respect the families and give them their privacy. And we're fortunate. A friend of the show, Thomas Kenny, was able to attend the press conference. So that, and along with what IRC Media can pull together, we'll share whatever details we can. Hopefully, they find the guy.
Yeah.
He's mentally unstable. His life is over, and he has nothing to lose. He is a serious depressive state. Yeah, so he is dangerous if he's not ready to let go. Like if he's not ready to take care of himself in the worst way, he's dangerous to other people.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't just assume that he left all his other guns at home.
Right.
You can't even assume that was him in the ocean. So
Yeah,
the nicest person in the state of mind is not that person. I feel sad for him. So do I.
Like I said, he could have dropped that truck off there and already had a plan to get the hell out of Dodge. you
Oh,
know?
he had a
Yeah. Now, if
There
you
was a plan
never
set.
had like a
Think about it.
romance just fall apart in the worst ways, and it was just like a life changing event for you, then I don't know. You might not understand, but pray for them all. It's pretty sad. Yeah.
For sure.
This could be he could be in the Poconos by now, or even dead.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. So I don't think he worked for the county. If he did, I don't think it was recent. He was an electrician, from what I understood. The other two, the victims, worked for the county. I'm like tucked down here behind our banner. Was that at the door?
A car door.
Okay. Dang, that sounds like a house door right there. Oh, yeah. So these are the victims. Pray for their families and all that are involved. It's just, you don't, it's the worst thing that you can imagine happening to the workplace or to your family. Have you ever known anybody close to you to be murdered like that? Just taken away
No.
unexpectedly?
Murdered? No. Obviously I've
No.
had people close to me die unexpectedly. But I can't say anybody that's been murdered, no.
Yeah, so they're obviously making grief counselors and stuff like that available to the employees of the county, because I guess both of them were there for quite a while. When I was younger, my really good friend growing up, his sister was murdered, and it was a passion thing. They were fighting, and this is how it happened too. Mandy Douglas, she's resting in peace. The girl was completely innocent, and her and her older boyfriend were fighting, and she had left and came back with an older couple that was there to give her support to get her things to leave. And as she was fighting with her her would-be ex through the door, and this is pretty shady. He shot her through the door and got her in like the throat area, and she died at the scene. So she was like 18, 19 years old, purest thing you would ever know. And this happened a long time ago. So, and he got off with it because Florida was a stand your ground state. Even though he shot through the door and he had two Rottweilers in the house, like if he was really worried that somebody was coming in here to get him, those dogs would have been on top of it. And he knew who it was. The way they would get in their house, because it was an old house in Barefoot Bay, had those old doors with the jalousie windows on the door. The door handles were shit. So, and I know exactly how they would get in and out. They would just lift the jalousie window, reach in, and that's what she was doing. And as she's talking to him through the door, and he just let one out, freaking shot her right in the throat with the old couple sitting in the road, and he got away with it. He's still out there somewhere. He could be watching right now. And, unfortunately, he got away with it. So, but, this is not that, of course. So, yeah, we'll update on IRC Media and Humor Connections if you follow us there as more comes available to us. Like,
how about that airplane and that fire truck?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Let me see if I can find anything.
That was crazy, huh?
So I know the co-pilot died. Everybody else survived, which if you'd seen the fire truck, that was kind of crazy that they all survived.
I saw a little bit of a clip of it, and then I was just like,
And the whole front of the plane was tore up pretty bad. But I guess I know some people are trying to blame, what do you call the traffic control people? TSA. And but
the firemen survived.
They didn't have a transponder on the truck, I believe. Look at that. Oh. It wasn't like they were just taxiing. See, I thought they were just taxiing. Look at
How did the
pure boom.
Yeah, how did the pilots die though? Like
Because it was head on.
Yeah, the collision.
It wasn't one of those big jumbo jets, I don't think. I mean, it was a big jet, but it was still.
And then nothing to the firemen.
The only two that I know of that died were the pilots.
So sad.
At least that was the reporting of it yesterday.
Miscommunication.
Yeah, I heard there was like 40 something injured. New footage captures the horrifying moment an Air Canada Express plane slammed into a Port Authority fire truck on the runway at LaGuardia Airport in New York City, killing both pilots and injuring dozens of passengers, crew, and firefighters in the crash. That was a couple days ago. Yeah, here's another video. I don't know. Oh, here's the video of the plane afterwards. I don't know. Can we hear this? I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at what DT said. That's so sad, man. They must have been just landing.
Yeah, I think they were landing. Sad. Yeah, runways.
Yeah, and from what I had heard, the fire truck was on its way to another plane to inspect. There was smoke reported, so they were on their way to investigate that, I guess. And
DT, fill me in. DT says on the radio, the ATC said I messed up. The ATC had throat cancer. Do you think this was who's ATC? What is ATC? I'm not air traffic control.
Okay.
Had throat cancer.
So I mean, it's hard not to blame air traffic control because you shouldn't have a plane landing if there's anything on the runway, or so I don't know how you wouldn't blame them unless somehow the plane landed without permission or the fire truck went out without permission. So I don't know how you don't put it on
just landed.
Air traffic control.
Made it through that whole flight without falling out of the sky.
I know, right?
You're on the ground and freaking smash. The rest of your fucking day is all fucked up. If you survive.
Another sad.
Look at that.
Ugh. Yeah, we got anything good to report here? Because that's why I don't watch the news. Sometimes it's like it's all depressing stuff. Everything's Oh,
it came through crackly. Yeah.
It's hard not
sharing a separate window. Sometimes it comes through screwed up. I usually upload video and share it that way, but it was kind of like last minute, so I was like, we'll just do the internet click through thing. So. But this is so I'm not anything I may scroll across is not pre-programmed, just for any innocent eyes out there that might be watching, including my daughters. Flying enough is scary, man. Just to make it through all that. This plane's taking off or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's just scary.
A bird strike after takeoff. This is a bird strike. So this wasn't the same plane, was it? This is 1722, right?
1722.
Hold on, let's look it up. No, this is AC8646. Okay. Because there's video of another one taking a bird strike after freaking taking off. Man, I don't know, man. We talked about hitting the Northeast for a lobster roll. That would be our freaking luck. Maybe we should just stay here.
Nah, let's ride.
Who's down for flying up to New Hampshire or wherever?
Damn, lobster rolls are already expensive enough. Now we're flying to go get one?
Yeah, why not?
I ain't got
We'll fly out of Vero Beach and
got that kind of dough.
Well, yeah, Mr. Polaris General over here.
No.
Yeah.
Not the General, that's the cheaper one. I want the Expedition.
The Expedition, yeah. But yeah, so the plane, that was pretty sad. That was pretty sad. I don't really have much
Yeah.
on that. But, we did have. I mean, it does. You did mention the whole ice thing.
That's sad news too.
What is this? What is sad about it?
TCA people ain't getting paid.
TSA. Yeah. Well, all DHS employees aren't getting paid,
Yeah.
except ICE. So the people who are the Democrats are holding up funding for have already been funded by separate provision the last time this had gone down. So ICE is taken care of. That's why now ICE is seen they're being deployed to they're being deployed to airports and stuff like that. We got what do I got here? Dealing with too much stuff here. Yeah, so and they're scanning IDs. This is Nick Satora's page.
I saw Snickers. That's all I got out of that.
So Senate Democrats have once again blocked the reopening of DHS and a 54-46 vote. Of course, there's some Republicans holding it up. There's some Republicans that aren't Republicans. But as Nick Satora's reporting, ICE agents are now actively working to help screen passengers' luggage at airports, and people are openly admitting that it's working. ICE is helping. The lines are very low, and it's working. This is quotes from the airport.
Gas is expensive as fuck, man.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I see your comments there, DT. Let me get it.
I've got a little something to say about that.
I feel some type of way.
You know, I'm a big Trump supporter, but there was one video I saw, and listen, I even said I don't mind paying an extra $10 a tank for a little while because that's about what it adds up to for me, so that we can get rid of them people chanting "Death to America" for the last 50 years. But I watched Trump the other day. Said something along the lines in a speech. He said something about how what they're doing with the gas over there is not hurting America. We have plenty of gas. It's not hurting us. It's hurting the other countries. No, wait.
Right.
If we got plenty
I
of
know.
gas
It makes it hard to
and it's not hurting us, why the fuck am I paying over $4 a gallon for regular?
so that he could come to
Not even premium.
so he could come to Palm Beach Garden. And
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie. That one
Listen,
pissed me off.
So he could come to Palm Beach County
Well,
to hang out.
here's
With hang out with Epstein.
Here's the thing. He's not lying. We produce enough oil to take care of our supply, but the problem is the commodities market in London sets the price on then OPEC, the cartel, controls the supply. So based on what what OPEC all agrees on what to produce, which they can produce more, OPEC will set their limit at what they produce, which drives the price.
And
up
I
in the markets
understand
in
all
London.
that.
So,
but don't say it's not affecting us.
right, exactly.
That you should have kept. You shouldn't have said
Well,
that.
Vince, because when he's saying that it's not affecting us, he's talking about the 1%. Like,
Yeah, it's not affecting the rich because it don't matter.
But if you look back, it's still cheaper than when Biden was in office.
and it's still cheaper than it is in a lot of other places. But
that was
We pay high
That
gas
was so
in
many
Florida.
years ago. That was so many
Yeah.
years ago. I'm paying
Florida-
that shit now.
Florida, it's higher because
We do pay high tax in
It's a
gas.
longer trip to get it here. Yada yada
It's
yada.
bullshit though. Like Florida, you think we would have already, cut back on that gas tax, but no, they weren't. They're not.
I ran my ass here. I ran my ass there, and I ran my ass straight to the fucking gas pump. Is where I ran.
Right. Well, that's just it. They just need to, wrap this shit up. And a lot of countries are going to feel the squeeze a lot more before we do, but we're still going to pay the price because, it's
Man,
just,
we will
it's
always
worth it.
pay the price. The middle class people and the lower class people well, not the lower class.
And let's-
middle class people will always pay.
And let's face it, it's not just gas. When gas goes up, everything goes up. And a lot of these companies, they use the gas to raise the price.
One
And then
word.
if it
That's
went up
two words.
if it went up $1, when the gas goes back down to normal, it's only going to come back down a quarter. You know what I mean? Like all those other products that are going up in price are not going to come back down to what it was.
Yeah.
They never do.
And it doesn't have to be this high if there wasn't already regulation crippling our industry here in America. Like we must spend all this freaking money and consume our vibrations on solar and wind when it's global. Solar panels are proved to heat the earth underneath them, and windmills kill freaking multiple varieties of birds and stuff like that. So, and they're ugly to look at. So, I'm not sure how far back I am on the comments, but DT wraps it up really good. One word: fucking Democrats. Yep. Sorry, girls, if you're listening.
It's two
Two
words,
words.
but I agree with you though. We'll let that slide, DT, because you're right.
Whatever.
Yeah, Joanne says ice, ice, baby. I need to get,
baby.
Lisa.
That's Mike plays that song when he's driving around all the time.
She accused me of being a teenager again because I want to get another system like I was when I was younger to play some Vanilla Ice.
I want to get the parachute pants. I never had them. You ever had parachute pants, Mike?
No. Why did it cost you $88 to fill your truck? Because you drive a Nissan Titan, probably. I don't know.
And my Ram costs about 90.
I don't use premium, so
yeah,
and
I'm not using premium either.
I get my gas at the most probably the affordable place in town, and I'm not really quick to fill up like I should be. So when I fill up, it's usually from really low
fumes,
and it's hurting at the pump. Especially when you have, you live in a rural area and everything is not right down the road. So.
And you got a lead foot, it doesn't help.
It's time to wrap this shit up. I think
it's just.
I think this is way more than what we needed to get involved in, but I think it could also be finished in a couple days if we really wanted.
I agree, and I think it could have been finished by now if we wanted it to be.
Speak up, Trump.
I need a plug closer to Barefoot Bay, driving 30 miles each way to pick up my street corner pharmacist special green. I'm feeling the gas. That's DT. DT, I moved to that area in 92 and was pretty much in that area for most of my life up until about 13 years ago, and I haven't looked back. Every time I cross the bridge north into Brevard County, I get depressed because the people in that area accommodate to the older folks in Barefoot Bay, and there's literally, it's a US 1, the main road, if you're not from this area, goes north and south up the coast. But in this area, it's like there's a median in the center, and every break in the median, there's 14 signs of wrong way, don't enter, go this way, not this way. And it was just like, man, after living in that area for so long, I know why they're there, but it just looks horrible.
I used to go to Barefoot Bay when I was growing up. Because they used to have like a laundromat there in Barefoot Bay.
That's our taxpayers' money being wasted, all them damn signs. And then I went to River Ranch today where they've redone some of the roads on the way there, going up 60. There are literally for miles are arrows telling you to go straight. You can't go anywhere but straight. Thank you. I didn't know where to go without those freaking arrows on the freaking ground. Like the money they spent to paint the arrows, put all the reflectors on the arrows. What a fucking waste of money.
Yeah.
Mike wants a system so he can play that while he's driving by.
And the protesters
are out.
Where did my window go? But yeah, what were we talking about?
I don't know.
What the hell happened to my window? Hopefully we're still alive.
Probably not.
I'm still there.
We're still there. Can't touch this. Yeah. That was premium. That wasn't premium. Oh yeah. Running on fumes. Some of them big tanks, that really hurts the bigger the tank.
Yeah.
Thank God.
That's a bad bridge.
I always wanted a diesel truck. I'm glad I don't have one right now.
There was just another fatal accident in that area, if I'm not mistaken. That bridge crossing into Brevard County from Indian River County, where we're at. And it's always been pretty bad there. I also lost a friend farther up the road. Actually, two friends in Grant, one in a car accident, and then another one drowned in the river, swimming from the gas station to Grant Farm Island. And it was weird. He was young in his prime, but this 64-year-old guy swims 900 yards, half a mile out into the ocean. And
yeah, I know, right? Yeah. It just makes no sense. It's just.
Yeah, y'all are here, unfortunately. 3 in the past 2 weeks, 1 fatal. Yeah, pretty bad area. US 1, especially with some of these older folks. I had grandparents there, and both of them lived to be pretty seasoned and probably drove for a lot longer than they should have. But thank God nobody's life was taken in it. But that's a sad, because a lot of the people don't have other family here with them.
Right.
They come here, they spend their retirement here, they have family and kids that are grown up with kids and families across the country, and they might not realize their parents are aging the way they are, and they're still driving around to get everywhere. So, same. It's safe to be your friend. Is it safe to be your friend? So many tragedies. Well, I grew up in the area. Hey, John's in the comments, and
What's up, John?
yeah, that area, growing up in that area of here where we're at, was you were kind of left to your own demise. Like, you had access to all the stuff in Melbourne because that's where we would go to school, and then you'd have access to the people down south. So it was interesting. I just look old. Getting a golf cart and gonna check out the cougars at the pools. Hey,
DT, we definitely need to hang out one of these days.
Not in Barefoot Bay though. Maybe we'll meet at there's Bottoms Up down the road.
Oh no, that's too dangerous for me. You see what I look like, Mike? I mean, have you ever seen what I look like? I mean, just take a quick look, and while you're looking, give us a like, subscribe, and make sure you give us a follow. Let us know where you're listening from, where you're at.
Oh, it's still playing. I can't get rid of it now.
Well,
yeah, no, it's just Brevard
okay,
County. It's just Bottoms Up.
You know what happens in Brevard County? Stays in Brevard County. It's hard to come back to Indian River County.
Rosie's.
You never know if you make it dead or alive.
Back then, it was called Ferguson's. It was Fergs, and then the Tamales bought it, and then it was Bottoms Up. Yeah, and then I don't know who bought it after the Tamales. Is RJ still bartending in those neck of the woods? He used to have a restaurant and stuff like that. He was great too. I don't need to revisit my childhood. I need to stay away from Brevard. I need to stay away from Barefoot Bay. I do have friends up there and whatnot, so, but we haven't talked. So, anyways, we've been rambling for 52 minutes already.
It's just conversation, Mike.
Yeah.
That's how we do it, just talk.
So hopefully we do see, hopefully we see some gas prices drop. We got some more comments. I don't know why it's not scrolling.
Because you're on it.
Wait, was the wet spot. Yeah, I don't think that, maybe RJ worked there. He's probably worked at a lot of places. And the G spot was around the back. I'm sure it was too. I'm sure it was. I'm not.
Let's hang out with DT one of these days, man. I want to ride passenger on the golf cart. I'm down. Let's go ride down to the pool.
I had a friend that lived on the island in Grant.
is that golf cart
The
got
one with the one with the houses, and that's how they would get around the island. It was golf carts, and we would play tag with BB guns on that little island in golf carts, and we would get in so much trouble. Half the people were there.
There you go, Mike.
Them.
Some of them golf carts got good sound systems. You can play Ice Ice Baby.
Those things are expensive, more expensive than my side by side.
Like I said, I used to go to Barefoot Bay when I was young because there's a little laundry right there, and that's all. That's it. That's all I.
That was my first job at that restaurant right next to it. I started working there when I was 13 years old. It was Bing's Chicken. Best frickin' rotisserie chicken you've ever tasted. I mean, that was the shit back in the day. But working for like $4.25 an hour, maybe. Probably getting ripped off. Just a fucking kid.
But anyways, think about the energy, man. I just now the energy, how crazy. Like so many things have happened this. In such a amount of time into the year, just what 3 months into 3 months?
Yeah, almost 3 over. Yeah,
It's almost Easter.
Almost 4 months into the year, and it's just so much shit's going on. It's crazy.
Big Romans. You have pics of what? Hopefully, hopefully we don't know each other because there was no pics or social media back then for me.
But about to get blackmailed.
No, it's probably of the neighborhood.
Did you know you grew up with DT?
Big Roman's Pizza just came there when I was still there, and they were there for a while actually, and that was some good, really good pizza. Of course, it would go up and down just like everybody else, but now there's a Dunkin' Donuts there. I think there's even a Burger King up there or something like that.
of the wet spot
And the G spot. Oh, you better keep. Yeah, you better keep them pictures to yourself. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
anyways, we didn't really get much into the Iran bullshit. There's a lot of back and forth. I don't even know what to believe sometimes. Even my president, they say they're in talks, but who are they in talks with is a question. I'm sure they're talking to somebody, but are they the people with the finger on the trigger? Because there's still shit going on. And
I can eat some pizza, DT.
yeah. They blow Giuseppe's out of the water. They're way out of the way, or else we would try to get a pizza for the show and brag about them a little bit. We need some sponsors though. So if you know anybody that wants to advertise on this show or our website or the Board Report, which is our local news show, tell them to hit us up. There's Steven from.
What's up, Steven?
Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. Steven, you got a podcast going, right?
Drop your link.
I just freaking forgot it too. I'm horrible with names right now.
Are you though?
Yes, it's conservative something. Steven, tell me in the chat. What's up? The only other story that we're skipping over really, and we can talk about it, Conservative Blitz. That's right. Yeah, check out Conservative Blitz on YouTube and great conversation. What is that?
Sounds like a garbage disposal almost or something.
That's strange.
Something.
All right, as long as it's not just me.
I can feel the porch vibrating a little bit.
Excuse me. You feel what?
You might have found that G spot.
Hey, hey guys, thank you again for tuning in tonight to episode 152. Thank you guys again for sticking around, listening to us, to all the goof stuff we talk about. Not goof stuff, but it's just news. It's going around. People talking about it. We're just here to talk about it, put it out live, like everybody else. So thank you again for listening to us, watching us, hearing us, whatever you do, whatever platform you listen to us. Thank you guys. Rumble, everything.
Yep.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
All right, guys. Thanks. We're out until next week. We'll see you guys later. Where is my not prepared? Not prepared.
Podcast warriors ain't afraid to shout. Make America great, tell them what it's about. Facts over feelings, cutting through the noise. Fighting woke mobs and the kids with toys. They spew their lies, they spreading hate. Lips BS ain't gonna seal our fate. No nonsense here, just straight to the point. Truce to ammo in this battleground joint. Make America great again, stand and fight. Facts over feelings, day and night. Fight the woke mob, cancel their crying. Truth on the mic while they keep lying. They wanna cancel, they wanna control, but we got the truth, we breaking the mold. Speak your mind, don't let them bind. Words cut through, sharper than a sword of kind.